So let me turn the lights on, hold on. Make sure we're good to go.
So I don't have to turn mine on? Nope.
Testing, 1, 2.
So you gotta get turned on, okay?
Of course, I'm turning mine right now. Turn it on, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it's all going through the soundboard, all of it.
Because we're live on all of the platforms except the recording one.
There we go.
Let's go.
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on.
This is Good Day NWI.
Yeah, we'll make up our own dance.
Special guests tonight are the
That's better.
Ugly Neighbors Band, Sage Woods, Briar Woods. And it's February 23rd, 2025.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's Good Day NWI. I'm Becky.
And I'm Pete, welcome back. Nice to see you. Great weather today, right? 50 degrees on a Sunday in February.
So I was just going to mention, we have a lot going on tonight, and just
Yeah.
bear with us. We've got lights, cameras, and a lot of action, right?
The more the better, right? It makes it better. You can hear us better today,
Oh,
too. We
yeah.
have a new sound system, so hopefully it works out good for everybody. I think it will.
Coming out of the heart of NWI, and when I was talking to the guests today, they said, well, you know, we're not really from NWI. I'm like, well, you're from here, but we've all kind of moved around, so it's really Good Day, Chicagoland,
Yeah, we're-
Indiana, USA, and beyond.
We border Illinois, so, you know, it's kind of the same thing, so it's okay.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
welcoming all of you in today. Thanks for joining us. As usual, but we have even more. We have my camera going on my Facebook, and then what are these going here, Pete?
YouTube, Good Day Video, NWI, Facebook, Instagram.
And
That's good. See, there's no excuses. It's everywhere to watch, right? You can't say, oh, I didn't want you guys.
Twitter, Twitch,
Yeah.
Tubi, we've got them all. And along with that, this is a labor of love for us. So if you want to send stars or Zelle or donate, that'd be great.
And we'll take your money and donate it where it should go. We do. We will.
We're also recording to update and upload later on, so that's also very, very nice. If you've got some angle that you're like, ooh, switch to another one because we've got different camera angles.
Here, I like the comments from people because that's how we realize what is wrong and what is right. We know if the sound's bad or right, whatever. So please comment, send a message, and let me know so we'll fix it.
And when we say labor of love, Vision Quest, Angels Honor Guard, and You're With,
Cash for charity.
and
Kia.
that they help do all this stuff.
Big time, right?
And so what we're gonna really try to do, hopefully, is just kind of keep everybody all set in here. So we've got Lauren on technology, Nick is helping, just make sure everybody kind of stays
To make sure
in
she
their
does what she's
places.
supposed to do, right? Just tell her. Put your, right?
And keep the people in the green room. And then we've got Kaylee, special guests Kaylee and Dimitri in the back. They're very involved in the area, and we're going to talk to them a little bit about
She's
their
involved with
lives.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it kind of relates to a lot of the stories, so we're going to
Yeah.
have them come up and chit chat with us.
Yep.
And then our special musical guests are, do you know what they're called?
I don't. You have to tell me.
The Ugly,
Ugly Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Actually, I've got one of them. I think we all do. That's a great name. You can't forget that,
Well,
right?
because we had Dave here, and he's the ugly baby. So now he's
Yeah.
got his friends, and now they're the ugly,
The ugly
neighbors.
neighbors.
So Dave Jersh and Jeff, how do you say your last name?
Bill Jack.
Bilger. So we're gonna ask you guys. So we're
that's
gonna keep
funny.
everybody in the back. So that's kind of it. We'll let you know when you're coming out. We're gonna ask you guys to help us with the area. So we cover at least the 3 counties. So Lake, Porter, and LaPorte, and then we've got 4 adjoining.
Yeah.
But then there's cities. So let's start with our
Yeah,
cities.
Northwest Indiana is huge. It goes from here all the way up to what, Wisconsin, Michigan, whatever it is. There's lots of parts of Indiana, no one realizes it. You know, not just Highland, Munster, the ones that we all know. You go to Michigan City, you go to Hobart, you go to Burns Harbor, that's considered Indiana, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cedar Lake,
Chesterton.
you have Michigan City, where everyone goes shopping. There's
Valpo.
where at?
Valpo.
Yeah, Valparaiso. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and no one ever thinks about it, but we do. That's why we're talking about it today.
So we have, let's go over the usual schedule. We're back down in the studio, our usual schedule. Food, fashion, weather, traffic. We have a winner, stories, music, guests, impact winner, events, and then we close it.
Yep, lots of events.
What's that?
That's my phone going up. I gotta turn this thing off, right?
So
There we go.
I love the live aspect. It's kind of like getting into a sporting event. It's like you practice, everybody gets there, and then it's like, okay, who's in, who's playing, who's feeling good. Much
Yeah.
like Saturday Night Live, and they said that they remembered the most special were the times that things went a little off, and that's what
People
brought up.
remember Goofy, they don't remember serious. I say that all the time. Especially with these car commercials that we do. I always tell them, make it goofy, people remember it. All this serious nonsense, they forget about it. It doesn't mean anything, you know?
All right, so we have
So-
a lot of things on, although Pete's like, I've got it all covered, but for me, I always have like a backup plan. But let's start, you mentioned the weather, so the weather is
50 degrees.
thawing, so we've got like a few days, so the.
Tomorrow's gonna be 50 also, it's gonna be great, right?
So the groundhog was right for
Yeah,
a week, so
yeah.
that was at
Yeah, for a week.
Indiana
Yeah,
Store
yeah.
Convention and Visitors Authority. So that, weather, and then hopefully we don't get cold again.
The groundhog was right for a week,
Yeah, right for a week,
But
so.
the weatherman is never right for even for one day.
So
that's
I'm
okay.
hearing some background, I think it was from the music that you played, is there any way we can turn that down?
Yeah, turn the music off.
Yeah, turn the music off, turn it down, okay.
That's okay.
Nick, you can help Lauren, she's kind of juggling over there. How do we turn that off, Pete?
You can't, you have to unplug it from there.
Oh, can we unplug that? Nick, on over. Okay, so that's our weather, food. We had great food last week,
We did,
right?
with that chef here from Channel 7 and from WTTW.
So
Fantastic chef.
Ted's Everyday Eats, right?
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
and then, next
We got a lot
week-
of good reaction from that. A lot of people liked it. A lot
Oh,
of
it was
people asked me during the
fantastic.
weekend how to, for the recipe, how to do it, how to make it, and I didn't know. So I told them, just watch his video. It was recorded, and it'll tell you how to walk through it. You don't get everything figured out.
He
And they
is
did.
sending us the recipe that I will post.
Yeah, it was good. And
So-
it was fantastic,
Thank
actually.
you.
Yeah.
And next week Ace is coming, so I'm thinking we might go ahead and do the, what did we do last year? The Oscar party, right? Where we
Yeah.
just kind of had people and we floated around and had
Yeah.
some fun. So Ace Catering, he wasn't feeling too good today, so I think he said he'd try to come out next week. He's got lots of good Polish food. They were actually the halupki makers at the pierogi drop.
Polish food is good, right? Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah.
food is good. So we're covering all of the countries, right? So food, weather, fashion.
Fashion,
Yeah, what do you got?
same old nonsense, man.
Well, who's
Calvin
your
Klein.
Calvin Klein, exactly. You know why I like it? Because it fits like perfect. I've lost all this weight. Today, actually, I went and bought more jeans, right? 31-inch waist.
Wow. Certain
I didn't have that in high school. I don't even know how that happened.
certain makers, once you find them, they kind of have that model size for your body.
Yeah, but
So
how they
I'm
fit.
still exploring because, you know, with women, we go through all kinds of changes, but,
Isn't there a woman's store like-
Macy's, old from, Maurice's, so these were in the closet 20 years, they're back in style, right?
You some nice shoes, always.
Yeah,
Always.
well, we share.
Not well, you
So-
do. You do.
So the good news is, even though like the family sizes are different, I'm in the middle, Lauren's a little smaller, Leah's a little bigger, we all have size 8 feet. So we have, and Grandma too, and Debbie, so.
Well, that means it
we
came from your
share-
grandma that way. She's fine, and it went down the line.
So
Everybody's got
instead of
size
50
8.
pairs, we have 500 pairs to share. But thanks for.
So you go over there and take her shoes and wear
Oh,
them?
yeah,
Oh,
Good.
yeah, yeah,
definitely.
mhm.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, and then.
Keep them, don't take them back. That's okay. She doesn't need them.
Traffic.
What traffic? Today was nothing.
No,
But overall
It
traffic,
was
what did we
crazy.
watch? We watched that,
Well, I use Waze.
555in.org.
You do that. But I use Waze. Waze
Okay.
is an app on my phone. It tells you when there's a cop ahead, tells you where to get off, tells you when there's too much traffic, tells you what the speed limit is, tells you how fast you're going. It's fantastic.
Does anybody know of anything that's construction, accidents,
But Waze does all that, and it's
It
an app.
does?
And it's an app on your phone. It works with any car manufacturer, and it'll tell you if there's an accident or reroute you.
what about red
the whole
light
9 yards. It
cameras?
tells you everything.
Okay,
It tells you all. It's
All right.
awesome.
all
It's a
right,
great app to have on your car, and on your phone that syncs with your car. It's a good thing. It
okay.
works out good. I like it.
So food, fashion, weather, traffic.
But let me tell you something about Waze. Last year,
Mm-hmm.
I got reckless driving tickets 2 in 1 week with Waze. And
How'd
it did
that
say there's a
happen?
cop ahead, but by the time I slowed down, it was too late, so,
Or maybe you should go a little slower.
no.
Hey, Nick, would you mind checking that camera there and seeing if anybody's names are on there? Because we like to, don't touch it though.
Yeah.
Okay,
there's
can you
people
say
with-
some of the names?
Sue Haluska, Susan
She's the biggest
Ball,
fan.
Diana
right?
Van Hess, Julie Stevens.
So this is like romper room. That's not dating
Wait,
us
Diana
back.
Van Hees, I went to high school with her.
Yeah, she's been watching now.
It's awesome. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Debbie Soul.
I have a picture with you from the day we
Perfect.
graduated. I showed it to Becky last
You
week.
know what's
It's
amazing?
in my
It's
phone.
like every time he talks about something, he can pull up a picture like that.
2 seconds.
How is that possible?
I don't know, because I scroll quick. I have no
Or do
idea.
you put their name in, or
No.
is it folders?
I'm unorganized when it comes to that.
Okay.
I just flip through really quick and remember where it was and pull it back up. My memory's very good.
All right.
That's why.
So you can let our guests know, which are also relatives of Pete's, if they want to come on out. The band can even let them know. Dave, are you over there?
Yeah, he's watching. He knows him at
Okay.
the Q, so do
All
what
right,
you
go
can.
ahead and
You know, by any
share.
time.
You
He'll
know,
be out
share
here right
with
now.
people. Oh yeah, they've got a monitor back there.
Yep.
We're going to talk a little bit about some pets and some what's the other? Oh, paper football and sports. So if you guys want to hop on, this is Kaylee and her dad, Dimitri. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
So.
See how convenient that was? You watch what's going on there, you turn your mic on and come on and bam, there you go, right?
Awesome. You guys
Yeah.
have pets, don't you?
You do?
Yeah.
What's the name of yours?
We have a dog named Kingston. He's an angel, and a bird named Molly.
Perfect. So one of the things.
How old is Wally?
22?
22.
He is?
She.
She, and how long do they live?
We don't know.
Have they left?
I hope another 22.
We will see.
I
Hope
don't,
so.
want, I don't want to deal with that in college.
Wow, maybe.
So one of the
You never
things
know.
that we talk about with pets is to, if you can't have them, maybe go and volunteer and help them, or donate to the shelters because they are housing them. And good news, the dog in what's the park? Forsyth Park has been caught and trying to be reunited. He was out for like 2 weeks.
Did you see
And they're
that
overseas.
dog on the expressway last week?
They're all over. So we're
Horrible.
asking that you put collars on them. There are
Horrible.
tracking collars. There are what's the eye thing that people
Air
use?
tags.
Air tags.
Air tags.
And also the third thing is
What is it?
Chipping your dog.
Yes.
Chip
But you can
us
keep
on
track of the
track.
dog that way too, right? With the chip on it, right?
It just tells you where who owns them. But
Yeah.
there are I have that other thing at my house that goes around the yard and it keeps them in the yard. It's a
Oh, the thing that
sensor
kind of
collar.
zaps it a little
Yeah,
bit and
and then our
reminds them.
favorite things that we also recommend, like Bob, what was his name, Parker, what was his name from Price is Right?
Yeah, Bob Parker.
What's it,
Spade
Did he
and
pass
neuter.
away?
yes, but he always asks about the
Spade
pets.
and neuter.
Spay, and your favorite?
What, neuter?
Yeah,
What's my favorite?
well, no, you always say that every time you forget the spay.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then when we move into, I wanted to also mention that's one of the things, I don't know when I wanted to mention it, but I do see it at the top. We have, before we go into the sports, we have Paper Football League. We usually have the table set up here, but we had so many people tonight.
You guys remember that from high school? Where you made these little footballs, right? That's what that is.
Yeah, you flip.
And you hit it across, and these people created a table, and they have tournaments. We had them here a couple of times already, actually, and they're selling them now. It's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, I remember from school, you used to shoot each other with and pretend like you didn't do nothing.
So,
So-
we're gonna try to have that at 18:30. There's a new hub in Whiting that Lauren's kind of spearheading. And I'm wondering, Lauren, what are we on that phone there?
This is Instagram.
I thought Instagram was also on the StreamYard.
It's going to YouTube right now.
Oh, no Instagram on that? Okay, so it's like, like every time you come, you like set up and then things change a little bit. So yes, that game will be at that shop so that people can come and purchase that and then get their tournaments going for fundraising. So give a shout out to them. And then we are going to move into the sports. I know Kaylee is a softball player with her dad and also in a show or musical coming up called
Cinderella.
Yep. Running on Hammersteins. Yep.
Yes, and that's over, so we say Chicagoland because your high school is in,
Oak Park.
right, but it's River Forest, so we have one of
Yeah.
those too.
It's Oak Park River Forest. It's the two combined neighborhoods into one school.
And the sports, you're starting, I know you play them all, but it is softball season, so that's all over my, my feed right now because college softball. Shout out to Leah, for, UMKC, they're playing and they're going on, it's almost like, March Madness, I call it May Mayhem.
But she does every sport,
I know,
not just one sport.
I know.
Do you like sports better than theater? What do you like better?
It's
Is that a
hard,
tough question?
It's hard to choose, but what I've spent the most time and money on is definitely softball. Ones I've adapted to the most, like the quickest, is definitely theater. But
And I
I
think-
love both of them equally.
There's some overlap because it's, people are like, so you're talented? I'm like, well, I mean, sports is talent, but some of the same things that you had to do in sports, you have to do in theater, muscle memory.
Well, you get disciplined and for
Discipline.
memorization, right?
Yes.
And footwork.
Preparation.
For
Yeah.
footwork,
And performance.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, and
10
not,
things at
yeah,
once.
being comfortable, being out there in the open, not getting worried for the big play, or if you're in the spotlight ready
That's
to.
right.
Which one are you nervous
Special
doing?
homework.
Oh, which one am I?
when you have 3,000 people watching a play, or when you have 200 people watching a game, which one?
I feel like neither. Because I get so much practice in both of them. But I think the worst feeling in the world is going up for an audition. That's the worst feeling. 'Cause you don't know, like, what if I mess up? I feel like that's the most nerve-wracking part of both of them.
But
I will say, we were in a tri-state tournament this past summer in Cincinnati, and we were in the semifinal game, and she got the game-winning hit with a lot of pressure.
Really?
We would have
Yeah.
lost had she not.
Wow.
In extra innings, it was incredible.
So in the new
Yeah.
world though, with streaming, there's thousands of eyes on you constantly. Like, you know, they used to say in Vegas, what stays in Vegas, it doesn't stay anywhere anymore.
Nothing stays anywhere. Yeah.
Game changer app.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one, that's a good one. So we did that,
So hold on.
Mhm.
So if you had to pick,
Oh, man.
tomorrow Dimitri said, hey, listen, we're not doing sports or theater. You have to decide which one you're gonna do. Which one is it?
Well, granted, I've done theater in school already, and I've not done softball yet. I'd probably go towards theater. If it wasn't theater season, I was already on the softball team, I'd probably swap that answer. But it all has to do with what I've already done.
Well, the beauty of us is that we can multitask and we can get it all done.
Yeah.
High five.
Who's us?
Women.
You too, Pete, you too,
Well,
and Dimitri.
I will say this, there's a lot of pressure on kids in high school to pick a lane, pick a sport,
Yeah.
which I'm not a fan of. I think you need to be diverse.
Yeah.
Whether it's different sports, music, various things, I think it'll serve you much better. She's lucky because softball tryouts happen right as the theater performance is ending.
No,
So there's a
the
slight
first week.
overlap, but she can do it. But
Yes, I have shows,
Right.
tryouts, more secondhand shows.
And then auditions.
Yeah.
right,
So I think people need to be able to get along, and I also feel that if you're busy, you're not gonna be getting in trouble, you're tired, you're
Yeah,
supervised,
Yeah.
and a lot of folks are like, you know, too much time, too much money, as
So do you like musicals or regular or straight plays?
Oh, it really depends.
On
Depends
what?
on what the musical is. Like, if they're smaller musicals, like Phantom of the Opera,
Yeah.
they don't have many characters. I mean, there's no characters, don't get me wrong, but then there's Roger and Hammerstein, where in our show with pro staff, which is like the technical staff, there was 90 people, almost 92. There was a lot of people,
Wow.
and sometimes that's very overwhelming.
What part? What's overwhelming? That there's so many people?
Oh, there's so many people, like, what if I do something wrong and then throw everybody off?
But you won't. And you won't
Well,
throw
yeah.
anybody out.
well, that's what
You-
Pete
you
keeps
have
telling
to-
me, and I'm
I
like,
keep
yeah,
on
but
telling her, fake
I-
it till you make it.
Well,
Yeah.
Nobody
I
has a
can't-
script. Nobody knows you're doing something wrong. Who cares? Just keep on doing it.
Like, I can't hear, and he's like, so what, keep going, I'm like, oh, I can't hear.
They don't. The people watching have no script.
Oh, yeah.
They have no idea if
But
the,
when
if the
everybody's
word is
doing
on.
one thing, you're in the front, do
That's okay.
something different.
It's okay.
People are gonna notice.
So, full disclosure here, Whiting, from Whiting as well, Whiting, Hammond,
North
Clark,
Hammond, yep.
right?
Yeah.
And then we all have to like kind of grow, so that's why we're into the Chicagoland area. We've got Indiana and US and the world. So we're gonna relate some of those stories that we're gonna talk about back to Northwest Indiana. Anything else that you wanna say? Oh, you know, I just wanted to get their feet wet, but I'd like to have you back on because you're also very musical. So we'd like you to be our musical guest in the future, so pick another Sunday. Anything else that you'd like to say?
When does the show start that you're in? In March,
Ooh,
right?
March 1st.
Cinderella.
March 1st and 2nd, and then the next weekend, like
the following Saturday,
Yeah,
Sunday, I
7th.
think it's 7th, 8th.
And
yeah.
tell the school again and,
Oak Park,
Oak Park and River Forest High School.
okay.
Home of the-
OPRF.
Oh,
yeah.
home of the OPRF Huskies. Yep.
You should bring some cast members here.
I should.
We've done that before.
I should.
Are
And
you
sing,
a
we have.
freshman?
I am a freshman, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that went fast. I was watching you. That's kind of the beauty of social media, where it can be bad, but I also liked
He
watching
posts
all the great stuff
a
happening.
lot.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah.
Which
So-
sometimes it's
That's
like-
okay. Somebody might discover you that way. You
Yeah.
never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're
That's
gonna
good.
have you hop off, and then the band will play, and then we'll have another guest on, but stick around. Make sure you stick around and kind of, get involved again. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
So next we're gonna go into some of the sporting stories and the trending stories. Sports. So we talked a little bit about sports and what was going on, but big in Indiana is basketball. Oh, I meant to say, because Dimitri is an IU fan. They did beat Purdue today.
He went to IU.
I know,
Yeah.
so I mentioned that.
Yeah.
There's also the girls' state tournament going on. All of our Northwest Indiana teams got knocked out, but they are fantastic. It was Highland. I called Miss Steele to come on the show. Marquette lost in 1A and Belleville lost in 4A. So that's the basketball. The boys are going to be starting that. There's also wrestling. I did talk to the dad of, now his name's escaping me again. He won 3rd place, I Bowl. Sean Turpin's nephew, our godson. So that's happening.
They play. He plays in Lowell.
Yeah, he plays for Lowell. Gymnastics and swimming are going on. A Chesterton girl won the all around, and we're also very good at swimming. So if you want to comment a city or something that you want to see or be on, you're welcome. You're always welcome to do that. Beyond the local colleges, I wanted to show you this story. You got another thought?
I've got a lot of stories. Let me
Okay.
tell you. Do I? What Valpo? What?
There's a Valpo University freshman boys basketball player. His name is All Right.
His name is all right.
ALLWRIGHT.
Well, here.
I think that's really cool.
Not making fun of anybody, but a long time ago in the car business, this lady's name was Pearl. She had no left arms, but he said, "Pearl, you're all right," because she had just the right arm. So I
It's
don't know, maybe.
amazing what people can do
Yeah.
when there are sports players that can play with.
His real name is all right.
It says that ALLWRIGHT. So Valpo, yeah. What are the colleges we have in the area? Valpo, IUNPUC, Cal College,
You should know.
Ivy.
I have no idea. I don't pay
Okay,
attention
well
to
there
it.
they are. Those are the big 5.
I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Now we're talking about sports, okay?
Yes.
It's been a big thing with all these Republicans and Democrats lately on not having men playing women's sports, right? What do you think of that?
I think we've
They
covered
cut
that
it out.
on
They
every show this
they
past
cut it
year.
out finally. Trump was right to stop it, put a stop to it because it wasn't
Okay,
right.
So there were 10 of them. I guess they're not playing. I always played against the guys. I don't particularly appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
But
crazy.
if they're gonna like kill themselves because they can't do something, then I'm like, they might have to go play against the trans themselves. So anyway, I mean, we could talk. I'd like to do a podcast on that. Have Dave come because that seems to be his favorite subject.
Oh, he can talk for hours on
Okay.
that.
So
A long
I
time.
would like to do that on that Patreon, and David Lane is back in town, so he said he could maybe help us with that. And I did mention to the Times, I met them this week, that we use a lot of their content, and we're gonna try to maybe work on something with them, which is pretty cool. Oh, look at this. Guess who beat the USA?
Canada.
Yeah, in hockey. So there's hockey going on around here as well. We don't, I think the northern states do that because they have ice, right, and it's cold and they do that. And look at this. Women's hockey and flag football are coming to PNW, Purdue Northwest.
Good.
Yeah. And I know Cal College, we're trying to, one of the things that we're gonna mention later on the show, they're building a field there, and we're really going to try to help get a field house there so we can use it during the winter. Because here, six months of outdoor weather and 6 months
Yeah.
of indoor weather. So
Yeah.
let's put a cover on it. So that's what we're raising interest and funds for. We have a meeting next Friday.
What is that gonna cost?
It costs a lot, but I mean, there's always money.
Millions.
Yeah, but we're saving a lot with the new government, so maybe they'll send it to us.
Here, he's trying to make some major changes. He's trying to lower the property taxes.
So-
They're trying to pass that, which is really good, really good thing. Our property taxes in Indiana are kind of inexpensive anyway, but he's trying to lower the cap, so therefore we even pay less. It gives you more income to boost the economy, which I think is a fantastic idea.
To like provide all the services that we're losing now?
Well, we're not gonna lose it. I hope he does it, because it's good for everybody.
Well, of course, tightening belts and fraud is bad, but I don't want to take away money from things that we actually need,
I don't think they'll do that. The income will come from different areas, but if you lower.
Taxing the rich?
Yeah, well,
It's hard to do.
I don't wanna talk.
We're getting spicy!
I don't want to talk about that part yet, but it's insane. But yeah, they're making some major cuts. I'm watching on TV every day, and they abolish the federal income tax. Could you imagine? That's fantastic.
So where are we gonna get all the money from?
Well, here, it'll come from tariffs and from sales tax.
And all the things we're saving, all the other countries are gonna help us now?
They're gonna start paying back what we've been paying them all these years.
All right.
So I think it's a great idea.
With all that, I am going to mention, we're praying for the Pope.
He's got bad pneumonia, right? That's what
Yeah.
they said today, yeah.
So-
88 years old.
You know, that's another thing, it's a fine line, it's like, what should you prevent and what is too much? But, I mean, we're all doing fairly well with immunizations, so I took my mom and she's like, I don't know if I want all that, and I'm like, well then, kids, don't go in without a mask to see grandma, because that's how that
Yeah,
spreads.
but she's okay, she's not sick.
She's got a cough every winter.
I did give her a cough. That was on mine.
Okay. Coming.
That's okay, she's tough, her immune system is tough after all these years.
93 though.
She's gonna hit 100 before you know it, you watch. For sure.
February 25th, dance is coming to IUN, the Theater of Harlem, off on the East Coast
That
there.
would be fun.
Yeah, so you can actually go to a dance class. Maybe we should go so we can figure out our dance for our song.
That's gotta be some high energy stuff, it has to be. Yeah,
And they're having a discussion in the afternoon.
good.
Check this, can you see, can you
With the
read
best
that
of the
one?
region?
Yes.
Yeah, the voting started last week, it did.
And we are in there for the best new business, and Angels is in there for, I think, a nonprofit.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't
you
know
can go
that.
in and add. I was with a group and I was.
Here, and a lot of these businesses, they get their employees to vote, that's not even right.
Well,
People vote to win fair and square.
well, they
So-
like working there.
Yeah, well, you need thousands of votes to win. They go in and vote multiple times, to
Well,
make
you
sure
can
they
vote
win.
every day.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
This is nice. This week, all the Oscar films will be at the Velpo Cinemark, so that when we're watching, we can go, oh, hey, we know something about it. But I am going to admit, I have watched the winners in the past, and it's very hard for me to tolerate them. The one a few years ago, it was I think, they were just a family, and they were trying to figure out their purpose. And it was like I was on a roller coaster. I went with Elena, who was here last week, and we came out of there and we were like, we gotta go take a nap. It was so moving, like they're popping and sound, and
It's where in Valpo? Where's
the
this place?
Cinemark, which is
Where's that
by 30 and 49.
Portersville.
Bell Park Road?
By the New Meyer, right off the highway off of 49.
Right down there off of Route 30.
It's a nice area.
Of Rice University.
It's very nice. No doubt
And
about it.
St. Mary's has a facility up there. I wanted to mention them. I worked for them. I adored them. I saw them. Where did I see them? I was at a Portage State of the Union address, State of the City. So that happens, and then we circle back around because we have music coming back up right now. You guys ready?
And if we know the song, we're gonna sing with you.
Yes.
We will,
do,
right?
We do know the song because I put this on Facebook. What's the name of it, Dave?
Is she really going out with him?
Oh, I know the words to that song.
Okay, you can move the cameras that way.
All of them?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Pretty women are walking with gorillas down my street.
that song from high school,
Sorry about that.
A long
Yeah,
time
Mike's
ago.
going
Oh, was it?
home.
Yeah,
Mike's
it was
going.
one of you
in
guys.
the 80s.
Yeah. Joe Jackson.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, we're getting the cameras turned back around here. Welcome back, it's Becky and Pete.
What's happening? How'd you
Good
guys
day.
enjoy the music? It was good, right?
NWI. And those were the, say it for me, Becky.
Ugly neighbors.
The Ugly Neighbors,
Ugh.
Dave and Jeff.
We
And-
all have that one ugly neighbor. That's a good name. You can't forget that one.
Well, I think the ugliest of them all is the one, the bass player, right?
Yeah. Well, he supposedly had a family medical emergency, so.
I'm
you know.
kidding,
Right.
I'm kidding. No hate mail, please.
No, hey,
mail,
man, on
please.
him, yeah. The jury's still out, but.
Gotcha.
Whenever you're ready, you can, if you want to come over and do a little bit of interviewing,
Oh,
you
okay.
can. Tell us a little bit where you're from, who you are, what's coming up.
Okay. Basically, I do some solo stuff, acoustic things, and I do that, for a full night. But this little thing here is more for the original type stuff. I do some covers and that sort of thing, but that's where this is kind of headed with the Ugly Neighbor thing. And then when I play out, I usually just call it Dave Jersh, but just thing I do.
And you're from Portage.
Well, I didn't grow up in Portage, I grew up on the southeast side.
Oh, that's right, that's
Oh,
where all
okay.
these guys are from too.
Yeah.
And I think Ace is from over there too.
Ace.
I don't know his real name.
So we said like Avenue L, Avenue H?
Yeah, so
East Siders.
between O and N,
Gotcha. Okay.
facing 112.
We used to drive up and down 119th Street in Whiting and then go to the east side of Chicago.
And then they used to
We
come
did.
over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
steal the girls and the
Steal
boys
the
would be mad.
And we used to go over there and do the same thing to
Yeah,
them.
well, I
Right.
dated a Clark guy, so,
Did you
okay.
date Clark?
Yeah, so we're all one big happy family.
Oh,
we all
yeah.
support each other. But, we actually met through sports softball, our daughters played together.
Yeah.
And, your daughter's in Kansas City, that's why we're, I
Yeah.
think it was that voodoo doll. We can't figure
It was
it out.
a terrible game, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I wish it
no.
wasn't, but,
It's like something bad happened. I saw that lady hitting them, and I'm like, that's what it was.
yeah.
But nonetheless,
The voodoo
I'm
doll.
glad that they're playing. It could have been a better game, but
It should have been
they
a better game,
seem
that's
to
what I
be
wish,
good,
yeah.
good guys. So.
So do you have a webpage? How do people find you? How do they keep track of you?
There's Dave Jersh Music on YouTube, and
Okay.
then there's Dave Jersh on
Facebook?
Facebook, and then Dave Jersh is my actual name.
Got it.
And then Ugly Baby, there's a Facebook.
That's a good, how'd you
It's
come
all
up with
the
that? I'm
same.
just curious.
I'll never tell.
Is it a relative that had an ugly baby? Like, oh my god.
There's really no ugly babies. In fact,
Yeah, you
we're gonna
have a
have another.
baby.
Yeah, we do.
Your
10-month-old.
kids.
Yeah, she.
You have a 10-month-old?
The
Well, it's no.
son.
No,
Well,
my
Gotcha,
the
my
gotcha.
daughter, and now the son's having
Gotcha.
one because
Oh,
there was
good.
a shower yesterday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So she came to town. So the baby came to town.
Oh,
10-month-old
nice.
was amazing.
Well,
What's
you
her
did
name?
well, Brian.
His name is Holland.
His name. Got it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we're gonna have another boy, Banks after Banks, the baseball player,
Ernie Banks?
Ernie Banks.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
sports in the
And where do they live? They live close?
Well, my son lives in Portage and my daughter lives in Kansas City, so.
So you won't be babysitting in Kansas City, but you'll be
I'll
babysitting in
go out there
Portage.
just to
There you go.
babysit. I don't mind it. It's
So
very
what's your
easy.
last song gonna be for us tonight?
Wondering Why by
Okay.
the Red Clay Strays. If
So
can
I
say
looked
right
it up
now,
and I
can
didn't
sing.
know it, but we're gonna let you go get ready for that. We're
Okay.
gonna talk a little bit more and then we're gonna
Sure.
have our next guest on. So,
Okay.
Dave's gonna probably be with us, on and off because you were here a couple weeks ago. So he likes coming, we like having him. And, we're gonna continue to promote the local bands and all of them that have been on are doing fantastic. They're all out, doing their thing and playing and being very successful. As I mentioned, we also, have events coming up, so stick around for that. We're gonna talk a little bit before our next guest. One of the things that I brought up, and I didn't list it on here, but the first one I did was the meeting. So there are meetings going on all over the area, whether it be chamber meetings, council meetings, PTO meetings. We want you to get involved in your communities, and if you don't, like you said before, if you're not happy about something, go and help them.
Yeah, voice your opinion and get involved. Don't complain and not do anything about it.
Another thing
Right.
I go to, I'm gonna reiterate this, on Wednesdays, Love and Honor, it's a class out at, can't remember Lauren, what's the name of that church on Route 6?
He also does it here in
Cross
Highland
Point.
too.
Oh, right.
He does.
Cross Point. And then the gentleman we had on, Jeff, does that in Highland,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna try to get it in Whiting at St. Paul's. We're trying to revive that. I talked to, remember Susie and Paul who were on?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
They're gonna
yeah.
come back. I asked them to come back on around the Easter time, and we're gonna try to do some collaborative things because we think, you know, that that's good for people is following these tenets that most religions do have. You know, love one another, love neighbor, you know, don't be selfish, all those things. Actually, I think you learned them in kindergarten. There's like a poem about that, you know. Put
A lot of
your
people
things
forgot 'em,
back,
that's for
golden
sure.
please and thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So then we're gonna go into, after this next guest, we're gonna go into our list of events. And we do, we utilize in the area, I mentioned the Times, Region Sports Nation, I love them, I share that, they're doing the games.
It's a lot of good information, there's no doubt about it.
Our planner.
It's a good way to keep track,
Mhm.
for sure.
So we met this next guest, Ken, come on up. We've got a lot going on today, so it's kind of like walking in the woods, right?
Yes,
Um,
and hitting a tree and saying, hey, what
And I
happened?
think we're gonna turn your mic down a smidge. Yep. And, we met at this event, same thing.
Groundhog Day.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right,
All right,
yeah.
so tell us, who you are and what's coming up for you.
Yes, my name's Ken Rosick, and I live in Hammond, and we have a group called the Hessville Dune Dusters. And our mission is to try to save the Briar East Woods in Hammond, in a hard town known as Hessville.
And so this goes on all the time. There's people with like ideas, and then there's people who are like, well, hey, we have to be conscientious. So what we're hoping for is a win-win,
Yes.
right? Because you're from Hessville.
Yes.
Did you go to Morton?
Yes, I did.
What year did you graduate?
79.
Do you know my dad is Mr. Matea?
I know Mr. Matea. Yes, I do.
And usually I say, if you know Mr. Matea, it's because you were in the tank, but you weren't in the tank, were you?
No. I
Okay,
was
you
one
had
of the
friends
good
in the
kids.
tank.
Yeah.
What's the tank?
It's where you got detentions.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, we're glad to
Got
have
Wasn't he
you.
the principal or vice
Yes,
principal?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And Morgan.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like all region roads lead to like Whitingham and East Chicago, and then
Yeah,
just kind
yeah,
of start
yeah.
spreading.
Now Morton's closed now, right? They went to Central,
No.
Mm-mm.
no?
No,
I thought they centralized the Hammond School as well.
Central
it's
has
fuller than ever right now.
Clark, and then Hammond High and Gavitt, and then Morton stayed on its own.
Clark is done, they're building houses now with their football
Well,
field.
that's
you're
why I'm
saying.
inviting all the Clark people to the Whiting meeting next Friday for reinstating a Hall of Fame, Little Sports, and the Field House. So you're an advocate because there's a dilemma. Tell us a little bit more about the dilemma, because there's a meeting tomorrow night, right? A council
Yes,
meeting that everybody
yeah,
can go to.
Yes.
Okay.
We have a dilemma that we have been trying to save these woods, the Hessville.
Show us where they're at.
Bryce, well, I'll show you a tree.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna show where it's at, but it doesn't really play well on one map.
Got it,
So
got it.
Okay.
where is it exactly?
It is in the center of Hessville, and if anybody knows where the water tower is in Hessville,
I do.
it is right behind the water tower. It goes from Parish Avenue all the way to Grand Avenue.
Off of Kennedy, right?
Yes,
So
Yeah.
Klein
35
Avenue,
acres.
people know a lot about Klein Avenue and
Yes.
8094.
Yes.
Is it like northwest corner there?
Yes, well, it's actually right in the center of Hessville. This is one of the reasons why we believe that it should be saved, because we are surrounded by expressways in Hessville, and that we hear the noise constantly, and we've got industry, and we've got Superfund sites that surround us in Hessville.
So what do they want to do?
Well, we had a problem in our town with trains diagonally going through our town and parking there. And this went on for decades. And the train would park at Arizona Avenue, and the kids were essentially forced to hop the trains in order to get to school on time.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was a really bad,
Not a
it
good
ended up
idea.
on
No.
Inside Edition, and Pete Buttigieg actually got involved in it, and believe it or not, the trains do not any longer park in Hessville. They stopped it. However, this project continues, because.
Well, what's the project?
Well, the project is to build a bridge and a parkway through our dune woodlands, and
Through it or over it?
through it.
Well, why can't we go over it?
That's too big. It's too
But
big.
what's your solution?
Our solution is the exact same solution that the Federal Railway Administration wanted to do, which was build a bridge on Grand Avenue that would service the 3 public schools that are on that street. And what we saw going on was that they put this bridge a little further away so that they could have their little hidden agenda, which was to develop the woods. And so it really wasn't to solve the problem of the trains. When we measured it out, it would mean that the kids would have to walk 2 miles to get across the tracks by using this Governor's Parkway Bridge.
So weren't you on the show that we're talking about the they? I thought I saw you on that show where they were talking about it. Who are the they you're talking
The
about?
city of Hammond.
So,
Da-da-da-da.
so is McDermott trying to help or is he hindering?
He's hindering.
Gotcha.
This is his
Gotcha.
pet project, and not only does it not help the kids get across the tracks, it really doesn't solve hardly any of the problems, and it happens to be $14 million more expensive than the option that the residents want and the Federal Railway Administration.
So they have federal funds set up for this already?
Yes, that was the thing. But the Federal Railway Administration contacted us, letting us know that they recommended the Grand Avenue option, and that was rejected by the city of Hammond. by
And
the
then
mayor.
didn't you say that the trains have stopped now?
Trains have stopped parking there, they pass right through.
Well, then I think that then we're good.
Well, you
Not
would think
really.
so, but they're not acknowledging that,
Yeah.
and they get a lot of people out there saying, no, they're still parking, so, but all the Hessville residents know that they no longer park there.
Well, Hessville could file a lawsuit against this to stop it.
Yes, if we can get the finances. Hessville isn't the wealthiest part of the area, and that's one of the options that we're getting ready to take. I
How
would
do
say.
people get a hold of you?
They can get us. We have a Facebook page called the Hessville Dune Dusters,
Mhm.
and we have 1,800 members. You can also get us on our. We
Hope
have
they're
a,
all watching, right? You
yes,
told
the
them all.
Hessville Dune Dusters should be on here right now. If not, we're going to have a talk with them. And we also have a website known Save the Briar East Woods, and an Instagram page, also Save Briar East Dunes.
Good.
Tell us your name again.
Ken Rosick,
How do you spell Rosick?
Rosek.
Ooh, that almost sounds like a chair.
It's a rose with a K.
Oh, nice.
That's easy to remember.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And I don't really touch anybody because I gave people a
That's okay.
little fraud last year. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you
I
again.
appreciate
We're
it.
gonna go into the events and then we're gonna have a song to finish up the night.
Thank you for having me. I
I'm glad
really
you came. Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Bye-bye.
You gave people what last year?
That frog in my throat when I was doing the musical Beautiful. I was at the Riley Royal House event for March, and there were so many people in there, I'm pretty sure, and then there was a gentleman that was sweating so like, I shouldn't shake his hand. And then I made everybody, and we got better a week before, because we had to postpone Beautiful.
You must have got it from somebody.
Yeah.
You didn't pass it out.
So anyway, I do the fist punch now. Okay, all right.
Everybody does that, right? To stay away from.
I want to do an impact winner. Like, I usually ask our guest, we'll ask him he seems like he's pretty impactful.
I remember him. He had a gun, right?
Well, he was
He had a
dressed,
goofy hat on, which is I remember.
he was dressed.
Yeah, like the guy who chased down the. What do you call that thing?
These guys.
Yeah, right.
The groundhog.
The groundhog.
What, Caddyshack.
Yeah, right.
He was, what was the guy's
Yeah,
name in
he
that?
looked great. He had a great
Brown's
outfit
What
on.
was his name in,
I forget the name of the character.
who's the
Yeah, I
actor?
remember him now.
He's everywhere, I think.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
I know who
Bill
he is.
Murray.
And Bill Murray, he bought a baseball field in Joliet.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Ubiquitous. I love that word.
Yeah, good for him.
So actually, I'm saying that, he was out in Kansas City, Leo's got a picture with him, then he was at the Cubs game, then he was at the music awards.
He's a
Then
major
he-
Cubs fan. Major.
Do you know Karen, can't remember her last name, she was standing next to him and he gave her a ticket, and they sat next to each other at the World Series. She was a big Cubs fan, she was in the late 70s, a basketball player, I just remember that story, it was beautiful. But we're gonna go into the events now, so that everybody knows what's going on. You can also check our page. I post a lot on our page. Remember again, Becky and Pete, the NWI. If you want more content, you've got to share, give stars, and so on and so on and so on. That's a commercial from the 70s. Tell us what this first big event is right here.
February 28th, Dave Matthews Tribute. In Griffith at 219, 912, whatever you call it?
Yeah, 912, because isn't that Klein Avenue? 912?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, and there's a councilman from Griffith who owns Set 'em Up, Tony, that also is partners in that. And then the gentleman with the wrestling that wants to come on, they were at a Griffith Hall, St. Mary's, but I think they also have wrestling here. It's a venue that you can rent and you can do whatever you want in there.
Where, in Griffith?
Yeah, it's in the mall where all the stores were. Remember that, by Jedi, behind that?
Yep.
Yes,
yeah, I do
it's back in
remember.
there.
Yeah, it used to be not a Target, what was that, Zare?
And then
time
the
ago.
Venture,
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite
Yeah.
stores.
Then turned into
And then
Kmart.
Kmart,
They
and that's
should've done.
gone.
Yeah,
All my favorites are gone.
Jedi's, that's one of my family restaurants.
I remember you saying that. Well, you're
It is.
Greek, so.
But no, that's my uncle, it really is, it is.
Uh,
That's the original Jedi's.
Out by us in Porter County, maple sugar. They're making maple sugar, March 1st and 2nd.
I know people who've gone to
Homestead.
that, I've never done it. How do you do it? What do you do?
Tap the tree.
Yeah,
And then
tree
they come,
sap.
and it's there ready to go?
I think so. You gotta kind of have something. You pop it in, you gotta know when, you turn it on, and there it is. But after you collect it, I think you probably have to do something with it. We've got maple
What, boil
syrup
it?
from-
I think
Probably.
Right,
some processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I should try it just to say that I did it.
Are you gonna come out there? In
Maybe.
your gotchkis?
Maybe.
What? So Nick's here from Florida, and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, I have long underwear on, everything.
And it's 50 to them, Florida people think this is crazy how cold it is. This is nothing, it's like a heat wave yesterday, today, right?
Nice.
We went from negative 20 to positive 20, it's crazy.
This is your favorite.
Singing in the Rain, Opera House, Vapo. Yes, it
back
is.
at that.
That's a
Nice.
great musical.
Were you
Great
ever in
musical.
that?
Never.
But you were in a lot of
A
them.
lot of them.
So not
Lots
only
and
do you
lots and
have
lots.
to know how to sing in this, you have to know how to dance.
How to dance, yeah.
Because
It's a great show.
wasn't that a Gene Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I saw that was at the Marion Theater Guild. They
They
did that.
did that?
Long time
So
ago.
there's a
And
lot
Whiting.
of theaters, a lot of talent in the area. Very
Lots.
much talent, and
And now,
I
I'm,
see that.
people my age, not that I'm 100 years old or anything, now all their kids are coming up and they're joining in the theaters and they're taking over from where their parents left off. It's kind of cool, actually.
So I was
I
gonna
like seeing
mention, some of these theaters like 4th Street, they'll have a dinner and then they go over to the show, which is pretty cool.
Well, they all do that. They all have a musical theater and they have a Sunday matinee and you could have dinner before the show
Oh, like
starts.
at St. John Panel Room.
Yeah, St. John
right?
does that. That's
Okay.
Marion Theater Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's a lot
Janice's
of-
Guild in Hammond does that too.
What about the one in Munster?
Performing Arts Center,
Yes,
they do that too.
yeah.
But that's an equity theater, that's a community
Okay.
theater. You have to audition for that, you get paid to be in the show, it's equity acting is what it is.
I'm always for like, the food, because if I don't have to cook or clean up, I'm like, what a treat, right? And we talked about that with some of the folks in Whiting. We're gonna have a brunch for Easter. We're gonna bring the brunch back, and Nick's a chef, and he's gonna help us with it. Last time I was there, I'm like, I'm more of a ticket taker. The eggs were turning green, I think after they sit, it's something, why does it do that? The air?
Air, yeah.
You gotta like apple.
Some bad eggs, right?
No,
Yeah.
eggs were good, it's like the air, like you gotta keep them covered. Speaking of which, we've got, what's this, March 7th, it's over here.
Yeah, Taste of the Region,
Yeah.
yeah. Halls
Have
of
you ever
St.
been
George.
to this? Have you ever been to
Never,
that?
never.
It's in Cherville.
That's the Halls of St. George is Serbian church,
Oh.
and that's where it's done. I know exactly where it's at. I know a lot of people go to that.
Well, I know Carol was on, and she helps with Villa Caesar.
Yeah, the Italian club, right?
Ooh.
This is Serbian, and that's Italian.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody has their own clubs.
Yes, they do.
Which we're gonna talk about, look at the club next is Optimist Club.
Optimist and Cash for Charity, March 15th.
We're all
It's
going.
I'll be there. It's a major fundraiser, and Cash for Charity gives away $150,000 a year to the needy. If your house burns down, or if for any reason at all, they're there for you. They've been there for almost 8 years now. It's fantastic, and it got started by retired teachers and coaches from Clark Art School. And now even people from Whiting are helping. It's fantastic.
So they're
And
selling
and
tickets.
the president of Cash for Charity just got voted for
Oh, yes.
Citizen of the Year,
Yes,
which
for the
is Frank
chamber.
Barrett.
Yeah, the chamber.
Nice guy,
Very.
the nicest guy. I'm not just saying that because I was neighbors with him my whole life, but he really is.
So
Yeah.
it's called the Pot of Gold. You
Yeah.
can go on Facebook, you can buy them there, but it's better to buy them ahead of time because then they can prepare. It's corned beef cabbage, the parade is going by, and the Optimist Club is in Hammond, I believe it's on Kennedy
It is,
Avenue,
and we're gonna be there, we're both gonna be
and
there.
probably go live.
For sure.
So,
Yep.
it's Irish.
And it's on a Saturday.
Get your, what the Irish, get out y'all, no, there's all kinds of stuff that they have. Yeah.
I will fake it, I'll be a Greek Irishman.
We're all
No
Irish for
problem.
a day.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Ship Shawana is coming to the Expo Center in Valpo. I know people go over there, but they're bringing it to us. So you can go and buy all your tchotchkes.
Valpo has a lot of things going on. A lot
Yeah,
of stuff,
they,
which is good.
they're kind of on the southern part of like all those little towns.
Yeah, they're way out there,
People
but
can
it's
come
a
up.
really nice area.
Mhm.
No doubt about it.
Here's a good one. And I mentioned that, I was at the meeting, but I know Chuck Hughes from the Gary Chamber, he has this going on.
What, April 10th?
Yeah, look at this. World Civility Day. How nice is that?
Wow, that should be televised.
I
Right?
think he has a station there, but we could go to that. I mean, it's at the Avalon.
What is he gonna talk about? I mean, and where do you stop? I mean,
Oh.
you can have 1,000 topics on that.
He has a whole day.
You need more than a day.
They start
Yeah.
with seminars or I can't remember what they're
Wow,
called.
that's a really good idea.
Workshops at the Dean and Barbara White Center in Maryville, and then they go for dinner. And I usually will head over there for the dinner. Funny story, I was there and I got this really crummy message that night. I'm like, the irony, you know, we're at World Civility Day, and then it was with politics, and I'm just like, he needs to come to this event.
World Civility Day, wow.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen. Anything from the audience? Anybody have anything that they want to mention from the audience? Anything?
Well, February's almost over. The bad weather will be behind us. March starts, springtime. Everyone's gonna be in a much, much better mood, right? And,
So we
we'll
do
be good.
have Tuesday, the Fat Tuesday, and we relate these, sometimes they say pagan, to the religion, which is Christianity. It's, coming up, and then we fast through Lent, and then we have Easter where he is risen. So I am looking forward to patchki, or we call them punchkis, but it's called patchki.
Why do they eat those? I buy them all the time. Briar has a bunch of them. I saw them the other day. Why do people eat those? What does it mean?
I think it's to feast before you.
And after that, you're done for
famine.
40 days, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
so you're supposed to
Yeah.
pick something to, make yourself closer to God.
And this year, the Catholic Easter and the Greek Orthodox, not Greek Orthodox, she's Catholic, is the same.
Oh, they're falling in the same.
Same day.
Well, because I always.
It's always a week after.
I always such fun with Susie. I'm like, so what are you doing for Christmas? She goes, my Christmas isn't for 2 weeks. We're still partying, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
So
different.
that's our calendar. Once again, I'm Pete. I'm Becky.
And I'm Pete
Sometimes
you
I
got
do,
that right almost.
Sometimes I do feel like I'm Pete because I always got you going. I'm always talking to you. Good day NWI. I always finish with have a spectacular week, and then cover those cups because we want to keep fentanyl out of the region.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And
you're,
take care of yourself and each other.
and then we have our texts usually say God bless, and then we are going to finish with some music.
With some more music, right?
From the
Ugly Neighbor.
Neighbors.
She come from silver spoon, golden rules, out there with Sunday church. I come from blue collar, low dollar, out there where concrete meets only dirt. Don't know what happened, but it sure don't add up on paper. When I close my eyes, I thank my maker. She keeps on loving me just the way I am. She's not just along for the ride, she's my biggest fan. Real place to heaven when I lay down at night. She keeps on loving me, and I keep wondering why. You got a wicked smile, angel eyes, every guy wants to hold her close. She's as pretty as the sun sinking down on the California coast. Don't know what happened, but it sure don't add up on paper. When I close my eyes, I thank my maker. She keeps on loving me just the way I am. don't add up on paper. As long as she'll have me, I'll take her everywhere she wants me to take her. Oh, she keeps on loving me just the way I am. She's not just along for the ride, she's my biggest fan. And Miss Emma will lay down at night. She keeps on loving me, and I keep wondering why. She keeps on loving me, and I keep on wondering why.
Say that my whole life.
Thank you very much.
It's a good song, right?
Oh,
Gives you a lot to think about.